Well, hello everyone, and welcome back to another movie discussion. And it's been so long since our last one, which was, I believe, Blonde and I Saw the TV Glow, right?
I think so, Leary.
Wow,
That was like last year or something.
that's so true. But this
Mm.
time we are back with two movies that I have seen before, like a few years ago, actually. And these movies are The Man from Earth and Coherence, which is in the title. I don't know why I had to say it there. I'm sure you've all heard of it because it's in the title and all that. But Kyle is watching these, I think, for the first time, right?
Sometimes it's your first time, sometimes it's your last time, sometimes it's both. Yes, Leary, this was the first time I've seen these movies.
Wow, that's wonderful. So these are two movies that, for me, these are 5 out of 5 movies.
Leary has 5 stars on them
Yep.
in Letterboxd.
These
He
are two
loves
of
these
my
movies.
favorite movies ever. They are, yep, 5 out of 5. And I think Kyle initially wanted to watch these because he saw my video where I recommended movies or something, and he's like, these two sound
No,
interesting.
no, no.
Oh, wow.
About a long, long time ago, maybe like 3 years ago, we were in a call just like this after one of our great recording sessions, and for whatever reason, both these movies came up. And I know this because in my watch list on Letterboxd, they're back in the line a long time, and they're right next to each other.
Oh, wow.
And I think we both brought up, well, maybe I brought up the idea of like movies where it's like one location or something, and we were talking
Mm,
about how cool that is or something. I actually have some things to say about that concept in some similar movies that we might save for it for a little bit.
mm.
And you must have brought both of these up, so my goodness. That's how I first learned about both these movies. And I remembered Coherence because it had a ping pong paddle on the little thingy, and that seemed cool.
Mm. Yeah, so now you
Mm.
have the context for that. But yeah, these are kind of similarly related in that they are kind of single location. There's like a cast of characters talking is the majority of the movie. Um,
They're the exact same length, can you believe it?
I actually can't believe that. I thought Coherence was like a 2 hour movie, but no, it's like super short.
They're both 87 minutes, I believe.
Yes, something like that. Really? I
Oh,
had no idea.
Coherence is 89.
Oh,
It says
okay.
on Letterboxd, I'm a big liar.
Well, there we go.
Short, though, Leary. We like short movies here.
Yeah, these were so easy to watch that I watched both of them today, or I rewatched both of them today. So here
But
we
you
are.
rewatched the Coherence one just like 2 months ago.
I did, but it's a movie with a plot. It's like it has a plot, and I couldn't remember the plot
Uh,
from a few months ago. So here we are. I watched it again just to be safe. But anyway, let's
wow.
talk about these movies. And the first one, we're gonna talk about them individually, guys, just for context. Um,
That's how we do these things.
yep, and we're gonna try and not spoil what you think about the other one until we talked about it. But we're gonna start with The Man from Earth, which is the first one that both of us watched in our sequence. So,
Mm-hmm. It's also
Kyle,
the first
yeah,
one chronologically.
yes. Do you know what year it came out?
2007. Do you think I don't remember dates? And do you think I don't have the letterbox up right now? You were fucking stupid or
I'm
something?
glad to hear it because I had no idea, so I was just using your knowledge there. But yes, 2000 something. What did you think about this? Oh my god, what a
Oh, you're not gonna
what a
predict?
movie! I mean, what is that a predict? No, I can't. I can't. It's like such a weird movie. I don't know what you're gonna think about this. I truly have no
True.
idea.
Well, that's fun. But anyway, if you go on the letterbox thing, and yes, Alita already does have 5 stars written out, and he just put up the time period, which is funny because it relates to his letterbox review right here. That has 2 likes, Alita, and I'm not one of
Oh,
them. That says, "Wow, this was absolutely engaging from beginning to end. Definitely watch it without knowing the premise. I wonder how they shot this. It feels like it was made in the 1980s or something, but it came out in 2007. Now that's crazy. I actually have a note on that later, so I
mm,
probably should have brought that up later, but I thought I was going to forget it if I didn't bring it up right now. Anyway, Alita, the man on Earth. I don't think I knew the premise. I did read the little letterbox thing here, but it doesn't really spoil itself in the little thingy here. So I didn't know that this man was 70 million years old, Alita. Now that's
mm,
pretty crazy. Or was he? No, it seemed like he was Alita. Now, uh, no, I won't say that. I am unsure how exactly I would rate this movie, Alita. You are certainly correct, and it was very engaging from beginning to end, very easy to watch.
mm.
None of the like limitations really made me dislike it or anything, but I don't think it was like a 5 star movie to me. I don't think it would be anything less than a 4 star movie. I feel like we've started one of these things like exactly like this before, Leary.
This is
But is
every
it a four and a
discussion.
half star movie? I don't know. Every one of them, I don't know. Sometimes we get stinkers, Leary.
Hmm.
So I guess I'm a bit torn on how it. I
That
don't even
doesn't
know
sound
how I was
particularly
gonna say.
torn. That sounds like you liked
Well,
it. You didn't
four
love it.
stars is like 4 stars is the worst rating anything can ever get, Leary. No, that's not
Right.
true. But I don't have I don't have a passionate like take on it or score on
Mm,
it, I guess. So it's interesting. I feel like we can unpack this as we talk about it a little bit more.
mm,
Because I think you're gonna say a bunch of things you like about this movie, and I'm gonna say, yeah, I like those too. but maybe not as much, perhaps. We'll see. We'll see, Leary. Did you hate it now that you watched it again, Leary? Did you just think now it's a two-star movie?
Hmm. I probably no. I enjoyed it pretty much about the same as always. And by always, I mean I watched it once, like a few years ago, and I think it was when I was it was when I was recovering from a surgery. So I was just watching movies nonstop, and this
A
was
black
one.
sail
It was the
surgery?
black sail surgery from a few
Oh
years
my
ago.
goodness.
And I was just binging movies nonstop because that's all I could do. And yeah, I liked it just as much. I think I hold by the review you just read out, which is that yeah, it is just very engaging, which I like. And I like the I just like the simplicity of it. I like movies like this. I enjoy like single room, like just a bunch of characters talking. Like these are very fun movies to me, pretty much consistently. Like I don't think I've ever seen one where I'm like, oh, I wish it wasn't like this. I wish there was more to it. Yeah, it's just good. It's like a story, a single story. How cool. Yeah, pretty much the same thoughts as always, I guess. Yeah.
Well, yes. Let's talk about the premise bit, because it is a thing I thought about a little bit, though it doesn't have too much to do with what I thought about the movie. I remember in film class in grade 11 and 12, Alira, I think at the beginning, they tell you to come up with some ideas or something, or anything you would want to film if you could, or something like that. I remember the idea I had was like, I want like a Sopranos-esque dinner scene where it's just like one shot and the whole movie is one take or something. That was my
Mm.
brilliant idea in grade 11, Alira. I thought, wouldn't that just be so cool? And there
Mm.
are kind of movies like this. It's usually not one shot. That's a little crazy, Alira. You'd have to film it in 90-minute sequences, and if you fuck it up, you got to do it all again or something. It would be crazy. Well, in my idea, like the waiters are bringing them like food throughout. What if a waiter falls over and you have to at the 45th
That's
minute? That
right.
would be terrible, Alira. Also, with technology, you could probably fool people into thinking it's one cut or something. So,
Easily.
anyway,
Ever heard of
I don't know anything about
1917?
the true. Well, yes, that's what I hear about that movie, though I have not seen that movie. But, I didn't know nothing, even though I did those film classes. I hated actually doing the filming because you had to do them on weekends. That was terrible, leader. I don't want to do schoolwork on the weekends. Anyway, so that was always an interesting idea, and I think I kept it with me. And I think I must have brought that up one time, which led you to recommending me these two movies.
Mm.
Other than that, I think I saw in most of the letterbox reviews there's like a 12 Angry Men joke for everyone, because 12 Angry Men is kind of a movie similar to this. And now whenever I
Hmm.
bring up 12 Angry Men, because at some point we have brought it up before, Leary goes,
That's an old
I
movie.
don't know what that is. But true, it is a 1957 movie. It's originally a play, Leary. Don't be ridiculous now. But it is like a jury basically trying to figure out if this
Oh,
kid
that sounds
killed his
awesome.
dad or whatever.
Oh my
Yes,
god.
it's pretty cool, but it's in black and white, so you wouldn't like it, Leary.
Oh.
It's that old. And I don't really think that fits too closely to this movie. I think they're very different movies. That's like a morality tale about innocence until proven guilty or something. This is just kind of an interesting, more of an interesting thinking. I'm trying not to say philosophical idea earlier, but it's something like that. But true.
I
And then
think
I think,
I
oh, go
think
ahead.
to me the interesting part of the story is that there's like a few things. One is that it's like there is the constant element of like, oh, is he telling the truth or is this just like a made up thing? And like that's a whole thing when you're watching through it. You're trying to figure out like what's actually happening there. Then there's also the element of like these people are like they're kind of testing his story and they all have interesting reactions to it and like at
They're
some
all
point
different science
yeah, yeah,
people.
exactly. They're all like professors, except for the one girl who's, I'm guessing, is dating that
She's a
professor.
religious professor, all
No,
right?
I'm the young girl who's like clearly
Oh,
having sex with that guy. I'm
she's
guessing.
just
Yeah,
yes,
it's pretty funny.
which
Um,
which is epic.
yeah, apparently, but I don't know. It's just cool. Some stuff going on in this story. I'm so engaged.
She's the normal person, the bleeding heart liberal leader to react to this whole situation.
That's
She didn't
right.
really ask too many questions though, now that I think about it.
Yep.
But true. That is true, leader.
Excellent.
That where do we go from here? My
I knew you were
goodness.
about to say something,
Um,
then I cut you off. I don't even know.
I forget. I was so 12 Angry Men or something. There's movies kind of like this, but not really. 12 Angry Men is more dynamic and trying to be exciting, I think. I don't know.
Mhm.
I watched like one or two YouTube videos about this movie afterwards, Leary. Sometimes I ban myself from doing that until after the discussion. But
Mhm.
so one of these videos, now I didn't confirm this to be true, did say that like this movie actually they did make it into a play for a little while after this because it would fit so well, which I thought connected to the 12 Angry Men example a little bit because that was originally a play too. Though I
Wonderful.
would say out of the movies I've seen, it is probably closest to Coherence. more so than 12 Angry Men.
That's
But I don't
that's
think
kind of crazy.
outside.
And you know what? Let me
Oh,
just
yeah,
say,
you don't
actually,
think
just
it's funny?
yeah, like I had never connected these two movies ever in my mind. Like this,
Oh
I'm
my
never like,
goodness,
oh yeah, these two are similar movies in any sense
they're
until
so on
today when I sat
brand.
down and thought about it. Like, yeah.
Um, but true. Outside of those three movies, I don't really know. In that one YouTube video I brought up, they did bring up another movie that they said was similar to this called, hold on, if I go to my letterbox, I can find it. And while I do that, have you seen other movies similar to this? The single
Oh,
location,
I've seen a lot of
sort of
these.
single conversation ones?
Um,
Tell me about
I
them,
mean,
O'Leary.
the
Which
the
one?
obviously the most single location one is Buried, where it's like a man in a coffin for like the whole movie. Um,
Oh,
actually,
there's no
that
talk in there.
no, he's talking
Boring.
on the phone the whole time or whatever.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, well, that actually wasn't too good. It was pretty good, but it wasn't the best or anything like that. I don't know. I've seen like things like Exam, which is all taking place in a single exam room. I don't know. I'm sure there's a bunch of others I've seen. I tend to like these. They're just so fun. Cube, I guess, is kind of like
True.
one, but technically you're moving into different rooms that all look the same. Yeah.
Or you could say that about Coherence.
The
Now, isn't
platform.
that spoiler a little eerie?
Hmm.
Um, I found the movie that was talked about in that YouTube video. It's Glenn Ross, and Al Pacino's in it, O'Leary, so it must be good or something. In case the people are curious, but they also said in
Hmm.
that was also originally a play or something. So I don't know about these plays and stuff, O'Leary, because you're on a
Yep.
stage for that, so it would make sense for that to be one location or something.
Yep.
I saw plays in high school. Now, true and true, similar types of movies, unbelievable, O'Leary.
Hmm.
Um, I have some other notes we can pivot to, Elitery, but they're a little weird. Oh, there was a last sort of discourse thing, because obviously another thing that kind of connects these movies is that they are a little low budget, Elitery,
Hmm.
which didn't affect my viewing or anything of either of these movies. In that one YouTube video I was watching, they did complain about it a little bit, about how this one's shot and stuff like that, and now it's amateurish or something. Who cares? Shut up.
Hmm.
Wait. Oh, they're probably the two lowest budget movies I've ever seen. I
Oh
don't know
wow.
if I can think of other ones. Which
Well,
I
firstly,
think was
just to
definitely
say,
more.
my guess
Go
would be
ahead.
these two are very different budgets to each other. I would assume The Man from Earth is like a tiny budget, and then Coherence is like a bit more than that. That'd be my guess. But
Maybe.
I mean, they've got like way more actors, and like they have a whole giant house versus this tiny little like could be even a set like
But
kind of
maybe
house.
they
And
were lesser known actors and they cost less.
maybe that's true. The camera's clearly like a high quality camera for Coherence. The Coherence definitely costs more, like way more.
That's just because it's
Um,
newer.
That's definitely not true. They were like 5 years apart or something. It's not that far apart. But which is crazy to think about because they look so different.
6 years, I think.
Yeah, but it is. Yeah, they are very low budget. First, just to say on the low budget thing, I actually I like it. It gives a certain feeling that I think is better than it would have been if these two movies were like more. Well, more, I don't really think of Coherence as like having that aesthetic though. Like when I think of
Yeah, it's
The Man
definitely
from
less.
Earth, that has like a low. Like I see it the first second I see the movie, I'm like, oh, this is like really blurry and like low budget.
Yeah,
And
it's in like 720p max or something.
yeah, exactly. And it's very grainy and all that. And I'm like, oh, I like this. Like this is a certain vibe that is better than it would have been if it was high quality. Like I think it adds to the movie. Yes. I feel like I was about to say something else. Oh yeah, low budget
Well,
movies.
yeah.
Man, what's the low? I mean, The Man from Earth might be the lowest budget movie I've seen too. I imagine One Cut of the Dead is probably no. One Cut of the Dead has stuff that's really probably expensive. I don't know. Anyway, who knows? Some anime movie I'm sure is cheaper than this. Maybe who anime is cheap, right? My
Yeah,
God.
these animes suck.
Yeah, abusing their employees or something.
Well, that would make them. Well, yeah, I guess that would be low budget, but like high work something.
That's right.
Anyway, give them good pay, Elitery. That's all I got to say about that. Now, that's true, and I think I did notice at the beginning with the Man from Earth, if you so call it that. But it's like something you get over extremely quickly, just because of it just pulls you in, Elitery.
Mm.
The other thing that I immediately noticed is that it did feel very like 2000s to me, which was funny. Especially because you said it felt 80s to you the first time in
Mm.
that review. I don't know. I think like the facial hair or something, it felt very 2000s. And funnily enough, the acting and sort of the costumes most reminded me of like those X-Men movies, which is interesting.
Mm.
But the black actor in this definitely reminded me of like X-Men acting. And sort of
Mm.
the guy that's fucking his student has like that beard type thingy that feels very 2000s to me. And the main guy's haircut feels very 2000s to me. In fact, it reminds me of the footage from the other shows the Sherlock guy made in that H Bomber guy video. I don't remember what it was like. It was Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde or something. And for
Hmm.
whatever reason in my head, the main character from this looks like the main character in that, even though I haven't actually seen that show. I just saw footage of it in that one YouTube video that one time. So
Hmm.
it felt very 2000, like mid 2000s to me, which was interesting.
Yeah, that's
Also
interesting.
kind of the
Because
attitudes
yeah,
around things also felt that way. But yeah, go ahead.
attitudes definitely. I see what you mean. Um, there is also a whole element of like, is it global warming or what, like the pollution is bad? Like they're talking about that a bunch in the movie, how we're destroying the earth or
True.
whatever. Um,
The
yeah,
sci-fi of it felt that way too. It feels
sure.
like old-timey sci-fi a little bit. Which did you know this guy wrote for Star Trek or something, Elitery? I
I
think
don't know
that's in
anything
the
about this
letterbox
movie.
blurb. Oh my
Okay.
goodness,
Yeah.
Elitery.
I know
One
stuff about
YouTube video and I
coherence
know
we're definitely
everything.
going to talk about. I don't know anything about this one. But the firstly about the feeling of the 1980s or whatever. I see what you mean about the like style and outfits and stuff. I could imagine this looking like a poster from like a TV show from the early 2000s or something like that, like with these characters dressed this way in this room or whatever. To me it's like also the just the lack of any technology or anything. Like I think there's
True.
like a corded phone at some point, but there's no like
He
I don't
played
know,
through a
there's
speaker or something.
yeah, he plays his weird speaker thing. The I don't know, everything looks really old. The camera's bad quality, you know. That's most of it. Like 80% of this, that damn camera quality. Um, but yeah, true.
If it was like 80s, wouldn't the camera quality have to be better or something because they didn't have low quality cameras yet?
No, but they were using the first digital camera to ever exist,
True,
and it was
that's
just bad quality.
possible. I don't know the timeline of cameras, and a digital camera means there's no film or something, but I don't actually know what any of that means.
That's
So
right.
that's unfortunate. I think the other biggest thing that like gripped me about this movie was that it very much felt like a not a house party night, but like a night in a close night with close friends or something elitary, where it like starts in the afternoon and then it
Mm.
goes into the night and it feels like there's progression. And there was actually a really funny moment where a bit through the movie, it cut to like an exterior shot and I thought we were cutting to like the next morning and I like hated it. I was like, oh no, terrible decision. This movie sucks now. But it
Hmm.
was just like, oh, the sun was going down more. It wasn't coming up, it was going down a literary. And we
Hmm.
cut back and I'm like, oh yes, I love the mood and the feeling and the vibe of this evening, and we're continuing on, and obviously the whole movie takes place over this. Um and I really like that. And sort of the ways that the story would draw you in and then like sometimes pull you out, like when the guy would walk outside or something and go and do
Hmm.
something else. That also felt very like descriptively real of like a conversation you're really engaged in, and then you have to pull out for a moment because somebody goes to pee or something. And
Hmm.
it felt like that in like a group setting. There was something very descriptive about that was very cozy about this movie, I think.
I wonder
Um,
if you can relate because I've got some descriptively real elements, but I don't know if you would relate because you have. I'm assuming you haven't moved house as much as I have, but
no,
um,
never, not even once in my life.
yeah, so the fact that this movie opens with them going to his house and the fact that the house is so empty that he only has like they say he has like whatever the plastic cups or whatever, that's incredibly descriptively real. When you have like people, either their friends who are like helping you move or something, but like everything's already been moved, so when you need to like rest or whatever at the house, there's like nothing to actually use because everything's already been moved and you're kind of like stuck and you use whatever you have available. Like all that stuff was really great. The fact that like they continue the conversation while the people are like moving the furniture, like all that stuff is really great. I agree with what you were saying about like the little changes in the dynamics, like going outside, like coming back in, going into that room to take the phone call, like having the furniture people moving in and out, and all that stuff. I really like that. It's really
There
cool.
was also on that front, the movie was playing with that idea a little bit because there is the time where like I think it's at the climax of sort of the speech or whatever. I think it's might even be a little bit after the Jesus part of Leroy. My
Oh
goodness.
my god.
Um, the but like somebody turns the lights on and it like ruins the atmosphere for a moment, and that felt
Mm-hmm.
like a very relatable descriptive. Like the lights come on in the movie theater at the end, and you're like, oh fuck. It
Mm-hmm.
like the whole you realize you're more familiar with the space you're in, and I think at the same time he like turns off the ominous music he's got playing. And it was a very like tonal switch, and especially when you're having like I don't, no, not a deep conversation, not even a profound conversation, but like a conversation that's affecting you or something, and then you like remember that the conversation is not the only thing that exists, and like there's some sort of normality. I think I even
Mm-hmm.
likened it in my notes here. This is a thing I talk about a lot, where it's like after watching Evangelion or a ContraPoints video, where you feel like motivated or something. And then you're brought back down to reality. And I always say, I put in my headphone and I'm listening to like some shitty podcast or something. And it's like, it feels like you've gone from like a high level back to like the realities of life of like a low level or something. And it brings you out of sort of the, not the epitaph. That's like the thing that
What?
they write on your headstone. What's it called? Not epiphany, maybe epiphany.
Uh-huh.
Elation or something. It brings you back down, Alira. You understand.
Mhm.
But that was a great, like, I don't think I've ever seen that captured like intentionally, and like the characters experiencing that. I've had things do that to me, but I've never had that like be a thing that happens to the characters on
Mhm.
screen. So I thought that was an interesting and nice part of the movie too.
I'm curious.
Um,
What did you think about the music of the movie?
Oh, my first note is discourse about music, because Leary told me this movie's in bad quality. So I start Googling, is this movie actually in bad quality? I come up with some Reddit post or something, Leary, and people
Mhm.
were complaining about the version they watched had shitty music added to it or
Oh,
something.
really?
So there's like discourse that maybe originally the movie didn't have any music or something. I didn't actually remember the details too much, but that was the thing people were talking about in these
Hmm.
Reddit comments a lot, about how the music was distracting this time or something. But I really didn't notice it. Besides the time when he turned it on with the speaker and it was like
Oh my
cool
god.
and ominous and stuff,
Mhm.
I really didn't think about it too much. So it must have been good.
It's interesting. If you told me this was added to the movie afterward, I would 100% believe it because it feels very different from the kind of grounded-ish kind of nature of the movie, where it's like in a single room, you've got like a camera that's like not really moving that much, and then you've got this like dramatic and sometimes very emotional music that's happening at the same time. And I'm like, oh, this is like, I like it. I think it adds to the tone of the movie and what gives it an interesting tone, I guess. But it doesn't really match the rest of the movie in a weird way, where I could imagine it being quite controversial. But I liked it. It was cool. It like gets dramatic at certain
I will.
points. And, yeah.
I will say it was a. I was watching this on a television, which I actually told Leary about this.
Mm.
And it wasn't on the highest volume because I was watching it late at night. But I wonder if I would have noticed the music more if I was like watching it on my computer with headphones in or something.
Wait, did
But
you watch it
the
on
music.
Amazon?
No, I torrented it because one of the torrent promised 1080p Leary, but it still didn't look very good.
What if
So
what if yours
I
didn't
got
have music?
tricked.
That's very
Huh?
possible. What if yours didn't have any music?
No, it definitely had music. Like I noticed it, but it's like quiet,
Oh, okay.
or quieter than it would have been
Mm.
if I had it in my headphones. I think,
Yeah.
because I don't know what my shitty TV, which is already shitty, and it's shitty speakers, and it's like those speakers where you can tell it's coming from like behind the TV. It's not
Mm.
the best, but watching on a TV is kind of fun and cozy sometimes, Leary.
Yep.
So I did it anyway. I watched both the movies, the same method, Leary. Can you believe it?
Wow, that's wonderful.
Also, I find it more tolerable to watch bad things on a TV, because like bad quality things, picture quality or whatever on a TV, because it's further away, Illyria. I don't know why, but it works for me.
Yeah, you're just weird like that. Yeah, good for you. Yep.
I don't mind my like 320p Pokemon DVDs on the TV, Illyria. It's okay.
Yep. See, I don't really care that much about quality. I watch One Piece and Naruto, and they both look terrible, but I it's fine. It is what it is. I stick through it.
I could never do it.
Yep.
I could not do it.
All right. I have a question for you. The most important
Wait, I have
question.
one last thing that pertains
wow.
to the thing we were talking about.
All right, go
where it
ahead.
was just another example of like the killing of the atmosphere that I find very relatable. And it's, if you're ever at a party and it is like a house party and it's like getting late and you're like outside earlier and there's like a fire or something, maybe even.
Oh, it's
but then there's
cold.
the point where it's like the music is playing. I'm from Queensland, Alita. It's never been cold once. Now, they did keep saying that in this movie, that it was cold. I think they said it in both, and I said, man, America must be freezing if you've ever needed a jacket once. That's crazy. I could never live there. Don't let me pivot, Alita. Now I forgot. Oh, you got to move the party inside, Alita, and it's a very different atmosphere, and it's like proof that like the night is coming to an end or something, and it's like a sullen feeling. And they get it when when they turn the lights on and the music comes off and everybody starts to leave, and I'm like, oh no, the party, when you're having fun at a party, it always ends too quick, and it feels like that's what's happening here. And that was another little relatable thingy about the space and the
You didn't want John to leave.
investment and stuff like that. True, my goodness, he was every 10 years or something.
Yep.
It could give you a heart attack, my goodness.
Yeah, he literally killed his son. It was crazy.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god.
You had a question.
Yeah, I have the most important question, which is that did you believe him? And like, or if you did, when did you start to? When did you ever stop at any point? Like, what did you think about his story?
this is the other probably most interesting thing about the movie, which is sort of there's almost a meta aspect here, but not usually how we mean it. So obviously I'm going into this movie and you're trying to figure out, so what's this movie about here?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what makes you immediately believe him, because he brings it up as like a hypothetical and you go, oh, so that's what the movie is about. That's kind of interesting. This could sustain like an hour-long conversation. Because I think I knew that the movie all took place in like one space. So I
Mm-hmm.
did know that. So I was like, oh, this is an interesting thing that would be fun to explore through a conversation for an hour. So I'm like, oh, so this is what it is. And so I just believed him. And then they're all trying to figure out if they believed him. And then there was another meta thing that like interfered with the game a little bit for me, where I was like, the way I would determine if I believed him, if I was actually in like the room, would be like analyzing if he like stuttered or something, and like if there was like a
Uh-huh.
little thing like that. And then I realized like you can't really play that game because this is like a created conversation where
Mm.
we've got actors and they've like practiced their performance, and it's written in a way where he's not going to stumble and stuff like that. And no, there is one part they point out where he does stumble.
They made a
But even that
mistake.
is not like,
A crack
yeah.
in your story, John. Like, oh my god.
But don't worry, he covered for it very confidently, so you still believed him. Um, so there was like two things going on there. So like I always believed him to a point, which we'll talk to, and also there's
Mm.
like the meta aspect of this isn't like a thing I'm necessarily considering, because the way this would be fun to piece together in real life can't sort of be recreated in the movie, or maybe it could be, but it's not being right now, at least for me. When he pivoted, I did buy it for a second, because I was
Mm.
like, oh, but it was the same thing where I was like, the only reason I now buy it is because this is a creative performance for a movie. And it's like, oh, I would be interested to see, like, again, if you're in the moment, like the way he pivoted would be how you would decide whether or not you believed him or not. But here you're sort of trying to analyze the filmic elements or something to see if the film wants you to believe
Mm.
or not believe at that moment. Then it became increasingly evident that he was fibbing the second time. There was an interesting thing where part of the reason why I started to believe maybe it was just a funny lie or something was he freaked out and went to apologize to the psychiatrist guy that was actually his son or something other.
Mm.
Um, when it like actually affected him, and somebody's like, "Oh yeah, his wife died today or something,
Yeah.
or yesterday," and he's like, "Oh," and that's it. Like made sense. Like, oh, he would think like if he was faking it, he'd be like, "Oh, we've gone too far. I should actually apologize to that guy," and ran out to do it. But then I
Mm.
realized if that was true, he probably would have admitted that it was fake to that guy as he was leaving or something.
Mm.
Um, so then I was like, "Oh, so it must really be real." But I connected those things in my head for a second. And I thought it was clever, but it ended up not being the case. Um,
Mm.
but true. So I
Yeah.
wasn't having much of the game there, but I did shift back and forth anyway. So
I went into this my second time being like, oh yeah, like obviously I know that this is a true story. But then I watched the movie, I got to the end where he's like, oh, I just made it up or whatever. And I was like, wait, what? Like, was it actually ambiguous and I forgot? And for some reason I thought they confirmed it. And I was thinking at that point, I'm like, oh, maybe they just made this up.
a literary so
And
dummy fell for it the second
yeah,
time.
then I was thinking, like, I know, because after that happened, then I changed my mind. I was like, oh, maybe he made it up. I was like, how on earth are they going to confirm that it, like, how could he possibly confirm it? Because I remembered that he hasn't made the reveal yet that that's his son. But then I guess the way they do confirm it in the movie is that, like, he says the dog's name, which is, like, a thing that he probably wouldn't know if he was, like, just some random guy. And that was, like, the only real evidence that he probably knew more, like, the story made more sense than not being true, I guess. Yeah, so he got me. The movie got me the second time, kind of, but also not really. But yep,
Don't worry, Alita. We'll look after you. I would never trick you like that.
that's good.
Oh, there was another aspect where it was like, fuck, I forgot what I was gonna say. It was about the
Nice.
people. Oh, it was how they reacted. Where it was like, and this is kind of a thing that's up for contention in both movies, I think, where it's like, so, they sort of believe it or they don't. The way I would act was not necessarily how they were acting. Like they were very emotionally invested, whereas I felt like if I thought it was true, I would sort of not react like this. And I don't know. There's like some, like I remember watching YMS videos, literally, Your Movie Sucks, and
Mm,
all of his critiques from like 10 years ago was like him yelling at horror movies because they didn't do what he would do. And because he did that, I always felt that that was
that's
really
you.
dumb criticism. But right now, I'm making that criticism a little bit. But then there was like the because it's funny, because there's also the religious woman who is not reacting like at all how I would react, but I don't have a problem with like how she's reacting because she's like very different to me, I guess, or something. So it's interesting. But like there's the one joke where the guy's like he's like, oh, I'm looking for a camera or something to see if we're on candid camera or whatever. Which is probably more like, I feel like I would, before I ever believe this, I would be just completely justifying how, like, oh, he found out the dog's name because he, like, broke into the, like, that is something I would think more before I would, like, believe it so much that I had a heart attack or something. But, I don't know, it's fine. It's not an actual hang up with the movie. But it was definitely something you're thinking about in the moment. I guess because, now the movie never states this. The movie doesn't state anything meta like this. But it's like, that's sort of the game I assumed it was playing, is like, oh, how would people really react to this situation or something? But that is an assumption by me. So for me to judge the movie in that sort of sense, that's just an assumption I made, a leader.
I just don't even. Okay, I don't know how to engage with this, but I feel like I don't know why you would insert yourself in the movie if we're watching the movie. Like
because
for me,
that's what I always
like. I would obviously react differently to these characters, but they are characters, right? And they have like a relationship with John that I wouldn't have with this person. I wouldn't even have friends like John. Like it just feels very different.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't
you got
really
friends like
that.
me, Elitery.
Yeah, but not like John, and you're nothing like John.
What?
But, yeah, not in any sense. Except
Maybe
you're getting older.
Jesus
You're getting older,
too.
just like him. You know.
No.
Yeah. But if I'm any of these people in this story, I'm definitely Dan, the anthropologist black guy. He was the most amused, I guess, by the whole situation, and was the most like calm about it, and most like actually being like, oh, this is fun. Let's like talk about it. He cried.
Yeah.
What does that mean? He called him
a son of a bitch. He was yelling at one point. Yeah.
Oh, did he cry? I don't remember that.
Yeah,
what do you mean, like tears?
Down his face.
Are you sure the quality of your TV could show you this? I don't remember this at all.
I'm 100% sure.
All right, you're gonna have to get me a screenshot. I don't believe this. He was, I think it was the glimmer of your glossy TV. Yeah, true.
But no, I would bet $100 on it. But if I lose, I'm not paying.
There's a tear in his eye? What is that? What are you betting on?
He cried it was so emotional. He was crying as he was yelling at him.
Yeah, like what? You saw a tear well in his eye and fall down on his cheek?
No, there was like a tear stream
down his cheek. Really? I don't remember this at all. Oh my goodness.
I'm pretty sure.
Well, please, guys, leave a comment right now. Tell us the answer.
So I probably could bring it up, even if I don't have the torrent file. So, I was lying.
Yeah, they would have
edited it. I don't want to do that right now.
Anyway.
True. Yeah, you watched a different version of the movie to me. So, in my version, he did have a tear.
Yeah.
But true. The least emotional one was probably the jokey guy.
The least emotional? Oh, like emotionally invested or whatever?
No, yeah, the one that reacted the least emotionally. Oh, well, yeah, true. I guess that's true. Both even the girlfriend girl didn't react that much.
Yeah, because she's young. She doesn't understand what's happening there. She doesn't have informed understanding of the situation. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. What do you think of all the characters? So go ahead. We got Dan, the anthropologist. We got Harry, the fat guy biologist with glasses. We got the old Christian lady.
Guy.
Yep. We got I wrote all these names down. We have Sandy, the younger lady who goes with him at the end. We have Art, the archaeologist who's dating his student Linda, and we have Will, the psychologist, who is John's son, and then he dies. I don't know. What do you think of all these people? You've talked about a few of them.
Characters, Elitery.
That's right. Could you relate to them as professors?
Well, as somebody far intellectually superior to Professors Elitery, they were a little beneath my pay grade, frankly.
Right.
But they all did speak like I expected, like a Star Trek character to speak, even though I've never watched a Star Trek episode earlier.
Yeah.
So that was kind of funny. But they did bring up counter arguments sometimes, and I said, I'm pretty sure I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Cool.
And it was true. I think, Ellery, a more interesting conversation is the wackier turns the movie takes and how that sort of affects the movie. So is the first one the Jesus one, or am I forgetting something else? No, the first one might be the guy trying to shoot him.
Oh, okay, sure.
So there's that, but then the gun was empty. Elitery, isn't that crazy or something? There was also a moment where like they tried to do the guy attacking him or something, but he kind of just reversed it. But it looked a little weird. But that was fine. And then obviously there's like the heart attack at the end. These were a little wacky, I think, for me.
I don't get the heart attack. The other two I get. What's the heart attack thing? He had a heart attack. People have heart attacks.
Well, like
they talk about his heart condition in the movie. His wife died the other day, and he's like, he almost drove off and came back and is mentally unwell. He's shocked as he found out his dad is an old man but is also young, and he's a heart condition.
I don't know.
And then he had a
When
heart
they
attack.
cut from him on the ground to literally him going into the ambulance, it was a little funny.
Okay, well, I don't know what to tell you, but yeah, I get the other two, not this one, but okay.
And maybe the Jesus lady, she was freaking out a little bit, but I don't know. She was silly. You know, these silly religious
yeah.
types. Yeah, you can't trust them to be smart.
That's right.
Also, it's funny that she was totally in love with him, and that's what first annoyed her or whatever. There was like looks she would give him, and then he like picked her up at the end, and she was very happy. So, you know, he broke her heart, but she still liked him because he was handsome or something.
Yep.
Crazy. Also, they did just believe it was a joke too easily at the end, but
I don't think they believed it. I mean, they wanted to believe it. That's what they said.
Half
they even made a point of
believed
that.
it.
No, they made the point at the end where it's like, I don't know if these guys believe it. They just have to believe it, so they're just leaving because they prefer that to the reality. I doubt any of them believed him at the end. They just left and coped with themselves that they believed it. They even say that in the movie.
Well, didn't I just say that they didn't believe it too fast?
What?
Or did I not say that?
I don't know what you just said. What do you mean didn't believe it?
Like, they believed that he wasn't it too fast at the end.
Yeah, and I'm saying they didn't not believe it. They still believe it at the end of the movie. And the movie makes a point of this. Huh?
No, I'm just trying to figure out what you said. But
I'm saying this is what happens, all right? I'm saying Harry, the fat biologist guy, he leaves, and he still believes that is Jesus. That's what I think. That's exactly what I think. And I think the movie says as much.
The fat biologist guy with the hair.
With the glasses. Any of them. The religious lady even. I think she believes it. Well, she could delude herself because she's like kind of crazy.
The fat guy with the hair didn't believe it. He totally believed it.
He definitely believed it.
A great joke. And the couple definitely well, maybe the young girl believed that it was real, but the other guy who definitely believed it wasn't real. The black guy was more in the middle of the literary. I'll give you that one. The lady definitely didn't believe it anymore. She was very happy that this guy was just not Jesus. And then the psychologist guy didn't believe it, but then he did a literary, and then he freaking died.
Yeah, I think they all believe it, and I think they're all going to go about their lives and pretend that it never happened.
They're all going to think about it a lot.
Yeah, they're going to struggle with their faith. Okay, that's what I think.
But the black guy had the tooth or whatever, or not the tooth, the tool, Leary, the tool.
Yeah,
you know, the tool,
the little thing. Actually, I really like that. That it's like some elements are like he's not like a genius. You know, he can't like remember everything. He doesn't just like have this thing from the past. He just bought it at a thrift store. Like it's,
or did he?
Well, yeah, in my reading of it, no, he just bought it there because it would make more sense. And I thought that was kind of cool. Where it's like you'd expect it to be a hint at like his past, but it's not really a hint. It's just like he just wanted one, so he went to the thrift store and got one.
Everything about the explanation was really cool, Leadery. I like that. You know, it was some speculative sci-fi stuff. It was interesting to think about. But true. Bro, I realized he was going to say he was Jesus before he said it. When he started denying it, I was like, "Whoa, that's pretty smart, huh?"
Yep. Yep.
And did you know Jesus hang out with Buddha first?
Yeah, apparently that's where he came from. I didn't know that Buddha was a guy. I thought it was like a thing, a myth or whatever. Like
some fat
story
dude.
Or whatever. Yeah, wow. Interesting.
He figured out life. Oh, it was funny because that felt very 2000s to me, where there was still like a deference, or I don't even know if that's the right word, to like
a reverence.
Eastern mysticism or something. Like it was actually the smartest stuff, not science. And I thought that was cute. I feel like that's a very 2000s sci-fi thing. There were some other aspects like that. He was also with Christopher Columbus, Leary. Could you believe it?
Yeah, that's the America guy, right? He found America or something.
He discovered America.
Except for Thorfinn, of course. Yeah,
the great Thorfinn. He did it first. And there was like some other famous people he was around, which was maybe a little coincidental, but you know, we'll let it pass, Leary. Now, there was something else. Oh, the coolest one was when he thought he found the guy that was like him, and then he saw him again in a train station, but he missed him. That was upsetting.
Yeah, true.
That's crazy. And then you just have to go on forever trying to find that guy again, maybe.
Maybe there's a lot of them out there. But probably not.
That's what Ellie said in The Last of Us.
Yep.
Well, that's what Joel said, actually. But no, just Ellie.
All right. I also like the fact that like throughout the whole speech, they acknowledged as much, which is that there is no way to prove or disprove it in this, at least in this moment. Which was kind of cool, where it's like, oh, good point. You know, he could just make up something that would answer your question, and you'd never know if it was true or not. But yeah.
Did you know Moses was actually a different guy in a different religion? And then Jesus was too.
Yeah, apparently. And they hung him up by his hands or wrists or whatever instead of nailing to the cross. But nailing is more dramatic.
It was more dramatic. And he didn't even walk on the water.
True. All right. Anything else? I got a few miscellaneous notes.
I got one more. when we first cut to the love storyline, I was like, oh, well,
Like in the room.
boring. We don't need this. No, well, no, I think the first one is them outside, and then there's
Ah.
like, what do you love me or something? And then I thought it was fine, and then at the end when he waited for her, I thought it was a little sappy later. I don't think
Oh,
I
how
liked the
cute.
last 5 minutes of this movie.
Mhm.
Maybe that's my
Yeah, I can
preference.
tell. You
Um,
thought either it was too cheesy or something.
well, I don't know, maybe a little bit, but I love Alita.
Mm-hmm. But you don't like heart
But
attacks, and I don't blame you. But heart attacks are evil, man.
no, reminds me of Death Note.
Yep.
Upsetting. No, that guy definitely reminds me of like a monster character, that psychiatrist. Not like a particular one, Alita, don't worry.
Good.
But they're all professors in that too, you know, it's a smart story. Now that is a spoiler, Alita. Now, but true. The love storyline, maybe I was a little iffy on that too. I have just a dot point that says love Alita. You want to do a miscellaneous while I figure out what I have and haven't said so far?
I like the scene where the student calls him and he says they got a C plus because he is like, who cares about history if you're like a medical student or whatever. I'm like, oh, that's so cute, you know, what a nice guy.
One other thing he pointed out was that like he doesn't have he can't check if all the history books are true because he's just one guy with one perspective, Alita.
Yeah. And then like the scene where they're talking about like, do you know where you were born or whatever, and how could you walk around and find the same place if the place is constantly shifting and like you don't have any landmarks that are consistent? And
where were you this day last year? Good point.
Exactly.
And he found an ocean like way later, and he said, "Wow."
Yep. All right. Dr. Oldman. His name is a pun. Isn't that crazy?
True. He uses punny names sometime.
Yep. My second last miscellaneous note: did Dan and Sandy, the black guy and the love interest, did they kiss on the lips when he left?
I think something, yeah.
I watched it a few times and I'm like, what is happening here? Why did that happen?
There was something else I watched recently that also did that. Oh, no, that was Boardwalk Empire, but that's actually part of like the plot where you're supposed to find that weird. But I feel like they do that in The Sopranos sometimes too. It's like a old-timey thing or something.
I mean, this movie was in 2007. They can't be that old-timey.
Well, that's like, ancient, Alita, 2007.
Yeah,
and there are all people in this.
It felt weird. I have no idea. But okay, true. They kissed on the lips and it was a thing.
It's like how George Bush and like that guy that runs one of those Middle Eastern countries, they had to walk around and hold hands because that's how they do it in that culture or something.
But okay, maybe I'm not remembering.
Might seem weird to you, Alita.
But the love interest, was she like also not a professor, but was she also at like the university or whatever? I don't know. Maybe we don't know. Maybe she was just like a friend or something at the
I would like to go back to the beginning of the movie and see how she reacts to like the initial reveal and stuff, because I don't remember her reacting at all, which would be a little weird. But
it's because she's secretly his mother. Oh my god, wouldn't that be crazy? You get a double reveal.
Is freaking crazy.
Yep. All right. Anything else?
I have written down awkward pauses because the conversation was very natural flowing sometimes, O'Leary. So, you know, that must be something. Then I got killing the vibes point. We did that one. Yep. They all didn't believe the story too quickly. They were all a little bit too emotional. True, we already talked about that one, O'Leary. I believed his departure story. Oh, well, I already talked about that too. Last note, O'Leary. Let's see if this one's new or old. If it's fake, oh no, this is just about how he went outside to apologize, and that would make sense if the story was fake. But
wonderful.
That's about all I had for the
I have one more thing, which is
I don't know.
No, go ahead. No, you go ahead. What do you mean?
Well, mine was going to say, I don't know. I still don't know what to give it out of 5 stars.
Okay, that's good. Okay, so I was going to say, I got to the end of this movie watching on Amazon Prime, and the credits start, and the credits are a trailer for another movie. And I'm like, what? And it's a sequel to this movie. There's a sequel with the main guy.
There is a sequel.
Yeah, the main guy is the actor in that. And it looks older, which is very funny because it's not meant to age. But
well, yeah. Did you read the thingy?
I didn't read. I literally watched the trailer for it, and it looks terrible. It looks like he
finally started aging.
Oh wow!
But yes, it has terrible. Well, you have to. If you want to bring back the actor, he's going to look older or later. Yeah, you're going to explain that.
Yeah.
But also, it had terrible reviews on Letterboxd.
It had looked really bad. It looked like It looked like a slightly more like high budget modern movie where it's like a bunch of kids that are like trying to figure out his mystery.
Yeah, that's what it
looked not good.
Synopsis said.
Yep.
They're trying to figure out his secret or something. Also, I saw when YouTubing it, searching it on YouTube, there was like the Man from Earth series Kickstarter or something.
Oh wow!
But I don't think that ever eventuated. So
why would you watch this movie and be like, I need more of this? I don't know what you would. Why would you want that? Like
because it seems like something that people would like. A small group of people would get really into and would want a lot more. I think. Also, like, apparently the guy who wrote it, like, he was really old in 2007, so I don't think he, like, wrote the other ones either. So that's also interesting.
You
Because
want to
the
know
Star Trek
something?
he wrote for was, like, the super old one. It wasn't even the Next Generation one or something.
They referenced Star Trek at the end, so maybe they referenced the one he was
True.
in. Oh my god, or he was writing. But also something crazy I discovered during this recording.
Dun,
The
dun, dun.
man from Earth has 4 times the budget of Coherence. It was
That's
200,000
freaking flipping crazy.
versus
Well,
50,000
and
for Coherence.
a thing that I learned in my short Googling of Coherence is that it was shot in like 5 days or something. So that probably cuts down on costs a little bit.
Yeah. So we get to talk about Coherence then.
Well, is that the end of your? You don't got nothing. It's still 5 stars from you, Elitery?
Yeah, 5 stars. Love it. I
My
would
goodness.
watch it again in a year from now, and I'd probably like it just as much. Good movie. Very
True.
unique.
I'll watch it again sometime probably. And because I didn't know, gave it a great 4 stars on Letterboxd, Elitery.
Wonderful.
Very impressive.
All right, let's talk about Coherence now. What do you think about it?
2013, Elitery. So you're not even going to guess for this one either? You got out of the last one.
Okay. I think that this is an interesting movie that you are probably going to think is pretty good, but nothing amazing is my guess.
Wow. Remember before I went to say something, but then I decided not to say it. The thing I was going to say is that I felt basically exactly the same for both movies, Elitery.
Wow.
So you'd be pretty correct on that stance. This is another one where it's not less than 4 stars. It's not 5 stars, but it's somewhere in there. This is also one I have a lot less notes for. It's also one that I watched a YouTube short of like 5 things you missed. So, I know some things, Leary.
That's good.
No, it wasn't too interesting. It was just sort of little like, oh, did you know that this person also was not the original person or something? Switch. Now, this movie is a lot different, Leary. This is a lot more of a plot mystery type movie. Than the last one that's just sort of a conversation. This one's got a lot more of a concept, I would say.
Yeah. Wow, that's very funny. But yeah, sure.
Oh, you think that's funny?
Well, I would say read a quote from Wikipedia soon.
Probably. Oh, I know that they didn't even write it or something.
We'll read that out soon.
We're improving some of it, so you don't try to get me with these little thingies.
Yep.
So did you love this one just as much, O'Leary?
Yeah, I watched it 2 times this year. I love this movie. This is an awesome movie.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I have always the same talking points for this movie every time I've talked about it, which is that, oh my god, I just love the dialogue. This is like the best dialogue in any movie for me. And it's just good sci-fi, and I love sci-fi, and this is like my go-to, like, easy to digest kind of sci-fi premise, and it's really good. So I like
it's not sci-fi. It's not in space. Don't be ridiculous.
Yeah, it's definitely science fiction. Yeah, and they even like talk about science at some point, and
no, sci-fi, science fiction, 2 different things, O'Leary. Sci-fi, that's in space.
Well, believe it or not, Earth is in space. That is true. Good job.
That's not true.
Yep.
O'Leary, the dialogue, I didn't even think about it once. Why is it so great?
I have a bunch of things that make it so great, okay? Number 1, they say and a lot. Like, there is a lot of, like, imperfections in the way they speak.
Probably true.
There are a lot of people talking over each other, which is really cool. You rarely ever I don't know if I ever seen this in a movie. Like, it feels like
I
a
watched
thing
the whole
where
video essay on that one time.
Really?
There was a bunch of examples in that one.
Oh, that's really interesting.
Actually, I think it was a
Nerd
Writer. I think it was actually a Nerd Writer video. And it was probably just about one movie about how the dialogue was realistic because they did talk over each other. So
yeah, so they do that in this. I'd love to watch another movie like this. So I'd love to see that video.
I don't remember what that video was called, Elitery. So I don't know what to say.
Yep. There's also there's like a bunch of conversation, like realistic kind of things where it's like the frequent mentioning of like, did you know that Laurie is coming? Like to different people who are showing up at the party because obviously she's like bothered by it. Yeah, like stuff like that makes it feel very real.
Elitery, you know what does that a lot is Mad Men. Oh my god, I gotta mention.
Good, how exciting! Yeah, lovely. Yep.
But that's funny. But it's always used for comedy in Mad Men, so you're not gonna like it, Elitery. But dare I say, Elitery, to use an Elitery word, a G word, you could say that the dialogue in this movie was very
what?
Grounded.
Oh. Okay.
You're supposed to guess the word.
All I had in my mind was generic. I'm like, how's he going to tie this into being generic?
Yeah, it was funny because it was also a G word, and I didn't even think about that until I started setting up that joke earlier. So,
wow, that's so funny.
I'm on the fly here.
Yep. Okay, so there's also when the big guy, I don't know any of I have their names written down, but I don't know any of their names. Okay, we're gonna describe them by the way they look. The big guy, the tall guy. He comes in.
With the bald head?
Yes, the bald guy with the big height. He comes in and he makes a Borat joke, and it was funny. He's like, "My wife," and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is crazy! I can't believe you can just like make jokes like this. Like, it feels so real."
I didn't know that was a Borat joke.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. There's the. It's just so like the conversation at the table is so like naturally funny in a way where it's like the jokes are like in the background, where it's like someone says something really funny, but like it's not really the focus of the dialogue, and it's like, man, what a genius idea.
I just thought they were being mean to each other.
Yeah, that's also a thing where it's like there's people who have certain dynamics with each other that are just very like interesting. I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff that makes it feel very natural to me, which I just love. Like there's even like there's random like small like when they're catching up with each other and they're talking about like this guy like talked about how he used to be an actor and the other people are kind of like they all find it funny, but then one of them like doesn't know that. Yeah, and the girl doesn't know it and she's like, I don't remember you or whatever, and like that stuff. And like when they're talking about the story with the dancer and everyone already knows the story but the girl doesn't know it, so it's like embarrassing and they don't want her to go, and they're all like supporting her in a way where they're like, that she's a nasty bad dancer, and I'm like, oh my god. Yeah. I don't know, all this just feels so real. It's really good. So yeah.
It did feel ground-leadery. For me, the main driving point was definitely the concept of the mystery and stuff like that. So,
all right,
everything you're saying is true, but I guess it didn't engage me too much. Well, not that it didn't engage me, but it didn't stand out to me as stupendous.
Yeah, that's fine. On the second watch, you'll love it, I'm sure. You'll be like, wow.
Thanks for letting me know it's fine, Alita.
Yeah. Now, here's a quote from Wikipedia from the writer and the director. He said, I think this is him directly. He said, each day, instead of getting a script, the actors would get a page of notes for their individual character, whether it was a backstory or information about their motivations. They would come prepared for their character only. They had no idea what the other characters received, so each night they were completely real reactions and surprises and responses. This was all in the pursuit of naturalistic performances. The goal was to get them listening to each other and engaging in the mystery of it all. That's kind of cool. Like, they don't know the premise of the plot. They don't know what the other characters are going to say, which is probably why the dialogue, like, why they're talking over each other, why there's, like, I don't know, like, kind of really actually funny jokes that feel like they're just not really captured well by the camera. It's interesting. What an interesting premise. I had no idea about this until this watch through, by the way. When I read the Wikipedia to prepare for this, but yeah. It
is interesting.
Yep.
But true. Wait, there was something I wanted to say about that, but I forgot it.
Lovely. Well,
O'Leary will never remember.
Go into the plot. What do you want to say? The premise, the sci-fi, go ahead.
I did tell you, O'Leary, there was one of these movies I had 2 notes for, and this was the one. So let me think for a second. My 2 notes, by the way, just because it's funny, is they started freaking out a little too early, which is the thing I was saying in the other one. And the other one is that one guy looks like Charlie Kirk. So these are 2 great notes, O'Leary.
Which guy?
The drunk one. He looks like Charlie Kirk to me. So can you believe it? The plot was interesting. I like mysteries, Alita. And then I think I realized before them that, oh my god, the house they went to visit was their house or something. And that was crazy. There's a lot of mystery stuff, Alita. There's some glow sticks, and if they see a different glow stick, it's a different person. But also, I remember what I was going to say. You were bringing up this director guy, speaking about things. There's actually a YouTube video from him, which is like Coherence Explained, and it's like 9 minutes long. Honestly, I don't really remember what he said in it, so he mustn't have explained it too much. Well, actually, I think he explained that there's only like 5 groups that we see in the movie or something.
Okay, now's your chance. Tell us. What's the actual plot? Go ahead, Kyle.
The plot?
Yeah, what happened in this movie? What's the premise? What's the plot? What happened in this movie? Well, you see,
there was there's like this house, and they're at a house party, and they're speaking, and then the power goes out, and there's also a comment, Alita, and the comment's making some funny things happen, maybe like phones cracking and things like that. And then if you go outside and you're trying to go to this house on the hill that has light on it, but that's actually the house they're still in. But if you go through the little dark area in the middle, you get spit out into a different universe or something. Because it's about the cat in the box or something, Leo, you understand. And you start to slowly realize that the characters that are here aren't the characters we started with, and my goodness. And then at the very end, Alita, it like ties back into itself because the guy gets the call from the beginning of the movie.
Whoa, wait, what? I didn't put that together. What do you mean? Huh?
So
what?
At the beginning of the movie, the main girl is talking to the guy, but the guy's like not really responding, and he's like it's weird. And then I think it's the same conversation that they have at the very end of the movie. Well, yeah, it's like the phone call would be going through time or something, is what I assumed. But it was like
whoa.
maybe I just misread this, Illyri, but like it's like, oh, he was freaking out because this girl had changed by the end of the movie. And she was like, why is this guy acting weird? But it turns out she
Hmm.
was actually the real reason he was acting weird because she got violent or something. Now, I don't know if that was true.
Yeah, I
That
don't know
wasn't brought up
either.
in no
It
explain
might
video.
be. I don't know. My reading is that like he just
But
got
he got a because he says he got a phone call from her. But you could
yeah,
interpret that it's like the girl that's dead in the bathroom. But
yeah,
she
who like
doesn't
ran
seem to be in the
away.
bathroom because oh yeah, she could have run away because that other girl was having a shower in there. But
Yeah,
you'd think there would be blood in the shower because her head was cracked open or something. But that girl didn't really say anything about that. But maybe she just wasn't looking a little.
yeah. Or maybe she cleared the evidence so that the other girl would think she's dead, so that or like erased from reality, so that then she could. It is a bit weird. I don't know. I like your reading kind of more. That'd be kind of cool a bit. Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, I'm really smart stuff.
Yeah, I think she just called herself.
But it was weird. It did feel different, like the final twist that like there was actually time stuff going on or something.
That is very.
Or
funny.
maybe her original phone call is what set it all off because
yeah, maybe
that her phone like cracked in the middle or something. Now, when that other guy's phone cracked, what was happening? Can we place it? Can we piece it together of like when he started figuring it out?
The comet was overhead.
It is true. We are doing that Game of Thrones season 2, book 2 thing of like everybody seeing this comment and saying that it's doing different things. And that's kind of another thing, just like the why you sort of immediately believe the guy in the other movie is like, oh, it's like this is like the plot of the movie. So you're just like inclined to sort of believe that the comet has something because that would be what the movie was about. But then if the movie makes you be like, oh, don't make assumptions, that's always a little bit clever. So I don't know. But true, Illyri, they got a box and they stole the box the first time. So that's weird. But
the coolest thing about the box is that a guy tries to pick it with a lockpick thing and improvising and it works. And he's amazed. It's like, I can't believe that worked.
True.
Like, that's great.
He did say that. I do remember that.
Yep.
But yes. And there was one house that was very peaceful, Illyri, and she wanted to go and live in that house.
That's right. It's interesting you haven't brought up the like for the other movie you brought up, I would have reacted differently. I
did kind of bring that up.
Yeah, but I feel like I could imagine you much more saying it for this one, which is that like
yeah, maybe.
Like why does it matter if there's like other people from another reality who are the same person but they show up in your house?
True. But I think this is like some like there's always an other Illyri, and you'll otherize the other, even if it's literally you. And so you'll want to go and because that guy, the Charlie Kirk guy, he was like immediately jumped to like we should go kill those people. So even because then his reaction would be like, well, that guy could be saying that, so now I am worried about them.
Yeah, I do completely agree with this, which is that the only thing stopping me is that I know that if anyone else ever found out, they'd probably want to kill me or something. I don't want that. We're not dealing with that. So we're going to find out.
And it is an interesting, like, if you are the Charlie Kirk guy, it's like, whoa, like now you fear yourself and you're like, man, I do think some crazy shit sometimes.
Yeah.
And now that's like another person. That's pretty scary. I watched a different YouTube short about this where it was like a guy reviewing the movie. And he said that this movie was very scary to him. And literally, I must say, I wasn't scared one little bit.
It's like, it's a little scary when the guy knocks on the door really loud the first time. I'm like, oh my God, it's scary. Oh my God, a door knock in the middle of the night.
I don't know. There was some sort of like, not comfort, coziness or something when they're like all in the house together. I don't know. If you're in a house with a bunch of people, nothing can get you a leader.
But then the lights turn out.
True, that was scary. You know, I've seen that Clue movie. When the lights go out, somebody ends up dead. That's scary. But that didn't happen in this movie. I did like, at least they were like, somebody go with him every time or something. But then it turns out that wasn't such a good idea because then they come back and they're not actually them or something.
Yep.
And that no good girl, she was a whore leader. She stole that girl's boyfriend.
I mean, it's just her boyfriend. Oh, wait, you mean the Lori? Oh, wait, what?
Yeah, true.
I don't know.
Yes, well, I guess that girl then became the girlfriend, the boyfriend stealer with herself at the end. Yes. But no, I'm talking about Lori Leader. Yes.
That's right.
She's always wearing tight dresses. Can you believe it?
Yes, I heard that at the beginning. And it was ketamine, Kyle. Isn't that crazy? Oh my God.
True. That's like a new drug. Who knew they knew about that in 2013? But that girl was dosing them. That was kind of like the other movie too, where it's like was it actually just a funny thing the whole time? But I don't think it was.
Yep. So there we go. Okay. Have you read your 2 notes out?
Yes, I did.
All right. Let me have a look what I've got in my miscellaneous notes. I've got the immediate rationalization that he must have just gone in a circle. Oh yeah, that was hilarious. When they first go to the other house, and then when they come back, they're like, oh yeah, we came back and we knocked on the side door. And the guy, everyone else is just reacting like, you idiot, you just walked around the house in the darkness and like knocked on the side door, you idiot. I'm like, that's so funny. Oh my god.
Said no, I didn't.
Yeah, it was great. The comedy, this is a very funny movie. I laughed at a lot of points. And I think it is probably just the improvisation of it.
I don't think I laughed once.
Yeah, it's because you're
not my type of comedy.
You know what? Yeah, you like the written comedy. You like the Naruto comedy. Like we're gonna set up a one-liner and we're gonna laugh at it. I like the natural grounded comedy. That's my comedy. Yes, thank you.
It's true, Leary.
One thing this movie did, at least on the version I watched, which is on YouTube, by the way, I just typed it in on YouTube and it was there.
Yeah.
But there was a frequent, like, it'd cut to black and there'd be a time skip. Did it do that on yours?
It
or was that
cut
like
to black a lot.
Okay.
The first time I was like, is this fucking laptop fucking up? And then I realized, well, that seemed like a kind of dramatic moment to cut like that. But yes, it just did that a bunch of times. So
excellent.
Maybe that was indicating something a Leary. I don't know.
I think it was just a cool way of like having time pass. Yeah, I liked it. All right. Well, I have a long note. What? Oh my god. Oh, there was a bit in the movie where it's like, it's significantly into the movie after you realize that stuff is kind of getting crazy. And the main girl, Emily is her name. I wrote it down. She looks at the notes that are written, like the different numbers on the back of the paper, on the back of the photos. And she said, like, she calls her boyfriend over and she's like, quietly, she's like, this is my handwriting. And that feeling, like that, when she said that, I was like, ooh, this is like if I was in this situation and also watching this movie, I'm like, ooh, it's like a really scary feeling. Because if you're hiding stuff from other people, like imagine how many of these small conversations are like happening between all the other people there who were like probably also hiding stuff.
The boyfriend had the conversation with the Charlie Kirk guy that was away from everybody else to leave the note.
Yeah, exactly. True. There's probably like a bunch of that probably just happening. Like even we don't see it, but like the first two who arrived there notice they're in the wrong house and then go like leave. Like they probably had like conversations like that, and like there's obviously people are hiding certain things at certain points, and you don't know who's hiding what. And it's like, oh, very scary. So yeah, cool.
There was also a very dramatic beat where she realized the numbers had changed or whatever, and that she was in a different house. But I didn't get it until like they explained it 2 seconds ago. But there was a very dramatic like sound cue, and I said, well, I don't really know what's going on here.
Yeah, that's right.
But don't worry, they explained it a little.
There were no threes initially. But there was a bit that was like, it confused me the first time I watched it. It confused me the second time I watched it. It confused me the third time I watched it. Every single time. And the second and third times were only a few months apart.
Don't worry, I'm here to explain, Leary.
No, I figured it out this time. It was the bit where she's in the kitchen with the two ladies, and they're talking about like, oh, I got this at a thrift store or whatever. And she like looks at them, Emily, and she freaks out. And I was like, oh, so what happened here?
Yeah.
Well, no, I figured it out.
They're having the same conversation they had at the beginning.
Exactly. So it's like, oh my god, what a weird thing. Which is a hint that she's like in the wrong place or whatever. So that was kind of cool because they haven't left the house.
In the short, I think there was also the reason why they didn't recognize the guy in the TV show was that they arrived when it was already dark. So they drove to get there through the dark part. And that they were like, even before everybody's there, they've already been like, they're different versions of them or something.
But there was only one girl. Oh, you're saying because she was late. She was the last person there.
Well, it was her and her boyfriend, right?
Yeah.
And they both were the ones that didn't recognize. They're like, oh, you were in that movie? Oh, that TV show or whatever?
That could be interesting. I don't remember if the boyfriend reacted that way. If he did, that's really cool.
I'm pretty sure now.
Awesome. We love that. That's sick. Look at a small detail.
But that means he changes the most because he's also one of the ones that leaves first. So
yep. That's like a
crazy on
that is that even possible? By the rules of the movie? Because I feel like
because it feels like the TV show being different is such a like departure that would have happened so much earlier.
Yeah.
I feel like the idea is that there's infinite ones, right? And like
no, it's meant to be that like they talk about it in the movie where it's like usually quantum decoherence isn't possible because of there's like the world is the world, but like during the comet now things can going forward like quantum decoherence can happen. So it's like any like small minor changes will lead to infinite realities because there is decoherence right now. So I don't think it's a thing that happens before the movie. Well, I guess it's possible. Who knows, but
I don't know, Leary. All I know is there's a cat in a box, and actually there's 17 cats until you open it.
That's right, but there were infinite number of cats, so them spinning, rolling die or whatever, or dice, it was pointless. It doesn't matter how many you do. If there's an infinite number of combinations, there's going to be overlap in those numbers. So Yeah, well, not necessarily, but like, you know, it's likely. All right.
Also, I like the idea of like you got to get in the house, and then the house you're in when it ends is like the house you'll remain in. So that was like that's kind
yeah,
of
her
like
boyfriend
funny.
died and she left. She's like, I'm getting out of here. I'm going to another house.
Did he
Great.
die? Why am I not remembering this?
Yeah, remember Laurie was like freaking out because his own self came into the house and like hit him on the head or whatever, and then he's just dying.
Oh yeah,
yeah, it was crazy.
Was that the boyfriend? I thought that was the Charlie Kirk guy beating the Charlie
was it
Kirk
the
guy to death.
Wait, I thought the Charlie Kirk guy was the boyfriend. I don't know these names.
No, the Charlie
God.
Kirk guy is the drinking violent guy, not the he's the actor, not the boyfriend.
Okay. I have no idea then. Someone died and that made her leave because things were fucked up. Was it her boyfriend? Who knows? Someone died.
Because the Charlie Kirk guy was the guy that was going on about being violent. So one of him did actually come to the other house.
That makes sense.
And beat him to death.
Yep.
But he only punched him like twice. But one punch
That's
can
all
kill
it
a
takes.
leader.
Yep. And also, apparently, one hit in the head by a toilet ceramic might not kill you. And you might be in a shower and then get out of there and call your boyfriend later. So, who knows?
I could take 17 ceramics to the head of leader. I'm indestructible.
Maybe. What is this? The little meta-narrative of a guy who slept with tall man's wife 12 years ago. And now they're kind of glad that they don't belong to the same house because they're like different realities. That was kind of funny.
But no, he says in every world I slept with your wife or something.
That was a bit, crazy.
Well, actually, that disproves the thing I was saying earlier, right? Because he said it only started tonight, and then that thing. So that YouTube short was lying. But also the clip of him saying I fucked your wife in like 1,000 realities was like clipped out on YouTube and had a lot of views. So obviously people think this was hilarious and a badass line to say.
Lovely.
So, you know, we can all wish we were that epic.
Yep.
Also, an interesting thing is these friend groups, Elitari, they're always incestual. So it makes sense that this guy is dating this other guy's ex-girlfriend and this guy used to sleep with this guy's wife, Elitari. I don't know. These dinner party groups, you don't like them.
Yeah,
in a few years, they'll all be swingers, Elitari. I know it.
Yep. Did you have a favorite character?
I didn't like the boyfriend. Well, I don't know if I didn't like him. He wasn't... Who stood out? I think the bald guy was kind of funny.
I like tall guy. Tall guy with a bald head.
Yeah.
He was great.
And his crazy wife, a leader.
Yeah, drug wife, yeah.
Well, she wasn't just a drug wife; she was like a naturalist wife too.
Yeah,
the
feng shui of the hidden door or whatever. I'm like, oh my god.
Oh, feng shui. That's from Cowboy Bebop.
True. I liked it when initially he was talking to his wife and he's like, oh, I didn't want to tell you because you know how you are and the whole feng shui. And I'm like, true, you shouldn't tell her about the comet and stuff. She'd freak out. Oh my god.
But his brother knew about the comet.
True. What does that mean? Oh my god. Probably nothing. But
no, it means that people know what's going on.
All right, now is this? Have you seen many sci-fi movies? Like have you like this? I mean, like mystery kind of sci-fi movies, or not?
Well, I watched the first season of Lost, but that didn't have any payoff, so that probably doesn't count. And Attack on
sci-fi
Titan,
in that first season. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's like mysterious and stuff. Attack on Titan, that's pretty mysterious and stuff. Or are we not talking about mysteries?
I mean, more like movies specifically.
Mysteries? I've seen The Martian. I've seen
The Martian. Is that the one like the one where they go to
Damon,
Mars?
Where he's trapped on Mars. Yeah, that was a cool movie. I liked that when I was like 13. They're in space.
Well, I don't mean sci-fi. I mean like the mystery kind of sci-fi, like this type of sci-fi, where it's like
I'm thinking out loud. If you'll give me some freaking patience, Leadery.
Just go to your letterbox.
I saw the TV glow, Leadery.
That's true. That's closer. Yeah.
This is a good idea. I'm gonna go and you finish your point while I go to letterbox and search up sci-fi.
My point is that I have no more points. That's all I've got.
Oh my goodness, Leadery. Hold on, genre.
All right.
Science fiction. Let's see here. 3 stars. Fantastic 4. We didn't like that one.
Yep.
Superman, Hunger Games, Spider-Man, Evangelion. This isn't helping. A bunch of superhero. 10 Cloverfield Lane and Cloverfield.
Oh, now that's a good movie. Oh my god.
Arrival. I've seen Arrival. That's a mystery movie. Have you seen Arrival? There's no way
I've seen Arrival.
You like these dumb movies. That was also a time thingy. So that's crazy. Passengers. That was a rom-com.
I have not seen that.
But they were in a spaceship or something. And it looks like it's gone down to like Steins Gate here. Every superhero movie. There's a Ninja Turtles movie here. I should watch those Cloverfield movies again. I don't remember them very. Oh, Man from Earth. I've seen that one.
Oh yeah, true. Okay, this is
there's
interesting.
a second page.
I feel like you
my God,
haven't
there's so
seen
many.
that many.
Well, no, I hate space.
But none of these are in space. I mean, the superhero ones.
Which ones? What should I watch next, Alir? Which one are you trying to recommend me?
I don't know. Yeah, there's just so many. I'd have
Event
to go through
Horizon. That's one I want to watch.
I mean, yeah, true. That could be it. I feel like it's a bit different. I don't want to say why, but
Should
who
I go to watch
knows?
list and search by sci-fi? Can I
No,
even
you
do
should
that?
go
Oh
through
yeah,
my
genre.
list where we've got, let me look at my 5 out of 5s. We've got Nope. We've got Time Crimes. We've got Cloverfield. We've got apparently Children of Men. I don't know about that, but okay.
Wait, is that the Cormac McCarthy movie?
Which one?
Children of Men.
No,
I
that's
think it's
the
based off one of his
Alonso
books.
whatever, like the, oh, maybe it's a book thing. It's the guy who
Oh
directed
no
Harry
no
Potter.
no no no! Yes. I confuse these movies. Maybe they have the same name, but yeah, it's the Harry Potter guy. I haven't seen that. But
Yeah.
that's because I'm an Azkaban hater, literally.
True, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Ex Machina,
The
Mad
Mist.
Max, Logan is a sci-fi, I guess. Man from Earth, 10 Cloverfield
Under
Lane,
the
Threads.
Dome, literally. That's a good
That's
one.
a TV
Under the
show.
Dome.
Right? That doesn't count.
But that's kind of what we're talking about.
True. That is very true. That is very much in this vein.
I haven't seen Interstellar or whatever. You know, that's on here.
Yep.
Solaris. That's like a Norwegian movie.
Have you seen Chronicle?
No, I bought the DVD when I was young, and I ended up never watching it.
Now that's a good movie. Oh my goodness!
But it's got the Green Goblin in it because I remember watching all the videos building up
from
the
Spider-Man
Amazing
movies.
Spider-Man 2,
Yeah.
and they were like, "Man, this guy is going to be a good Green Goblin because he was good in that superhero movie Chronicle that everybody should go watch." Anybody heard about this cool superhero movie Chronicle?
Yep.
And I said, "Well, now I've heard about it," but I never ended up watching it. My goodness.
Yep. All right. Wonderful.
2001: A Space Odyssey, The Thing, The Matrix, Blade Runner. These are all on my list, Alira.
They're all great, but they're all very different.
But it's only 41 out of like 300 movies, so I don't even want to watch sci-fi. I hate it so much.
Yep. Okay.
But true. That's all you got for your favoriteest movie of all time, Alita?
This is not my favoriteest movie of all time, but it is a 5 out of 5.
Would either of these movies be in your top 10?
I doubt
You gotta
it.
start making top 10 lists,
I would be
Alita. We gotta hold
surprised,
you to
but you
something.
never know. There's like a lot of movies I'd probably like more than this. They're definitely not in my top 5. I guess it's possible that like I don't know.
Or which one do you like better?
Probably Coherence because it is much more direct
my
sci-fi.
Wait, which one do I like better?
Yeah, that's the question.
Huh.
Hmm.
I guess Coherence.
Wow.
That's what you just
It's
said.
just a better movie. What
But
can
I
we
think
say?
that's what I just said.
It's got the lower budget. It's like I love low budget movies.
I think it is just because it looks newer, and I think that makes me feel comfortable.
It does look newer. That is true. Wow. True. All right. You know, it's no Yee.
I did
that's a movie. Oh my, a 4-hour movie or something.
True.
Yeah.
I remember that
Yeah.
on Digest. Leary really liked that movie.
Yeah.
But it seemed sad, and it seemed like it covered like a long period of time, which that makes me depressed, Leary. So I got to avoid that movie.
Yeah, it's a dangerous movie for you to watch.
It's true. You don't want to feel old. Now, I wrote down one note, and then I remember thinking this while I was watching the movie. I said, this might have made a good TV series or something if we could explore these elements a little more. But I probably feel that way about like all mystery stuff or something. I don't know. But
you just wanted
it
to
is
be
what
longer.
it is, Leary.
Yeah.
Yes, I just loved it so much.
I like sci-fi movies like this, mystery ones especially. Mystery sci-fi thrillers, they tend to say.
I like mystery.
I like it when they're short. I like it when it's like one and done and you watch it in one session and it's like the most
unlike that
exciting
shitty
ever.
Pluribus.
Exactly.
Which would have been a good thing to bring up before.
This is better than Pluribus, but I do like Pluribus a lot. So yeah.
Wait, I hate Pluribus, but I don't know if this was better than Pluribus.
I mean, I like movies more than TV shows. So to me, any movie which is really good is going to be better than any TV show that's good.
No, I don't think that's true. I think all of the TV shows are better. Now, but true.
All right.
What an interesting few little movies. Now, we did this, Alita, if we want to shill a little bit at the end of this, because we want to move into probably, perhaps, maybe doing all of the Nolan movies in chronological order.
Yep.
And we had to get these out of the way because we promised them. Now, we were supposed to also do Mulan Drive and Blue Velvet.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we have time for that.
I mean, that can be next after our Nolan stuff, I guess.
Yes. We should figure out the math and figure out if we did a Nolan duo every week, how close does that bring us to, of course, the new movie coming out? But also, is Alita really going to drag himself to the movie theater to watch that like right as it comes out to fit in with our great schedule we're going to develop?
Maybe.
I don't know. We will perhaps discuss these things. But true. So that's why we did these ones. Alita like begged me to do these or something.
Yep.
And here we are.
All right.
Woohoo!
Well, thank you everyone for watching. Leave a comment if you're a big fan of any of these movies, and leave a comment if you hate any of these movies, and leave a comment if you have anything.
You can
to say about
clarify
these.
if we time traveled at the end of Coherence, Alita. You don't know.
You might have a novel theory that you can make a short about, and then get how many views did the short have? Like 1 million views? Well, not really. It's not
I
that
didn't
popular.
notice.
All right. Well, that could be you. You could have a not. I didn't notice kind of.
There were
novel
video
short.
essays that were like the scariest moment in Coherence, and I feel like it had like 100,000 views.
It's just obvious. It's when the door gets knocked on. It's so scary My
No,
God, there's
the
nothing
thumbnail had
scarier than
like
being in the dark and then someone knocks on the door and you don't expect it. That's the scariest thing in the world, especially if you're alone.
the
Oh my
thumb.
God.
The thumbnail had the comment in it
Oh my God, it's so scary. The comment. Oh my God.
when
Wow.
she looked up and saw the comment or something, maybe.
Yep. All right. See you later, guys. Bye bye.